Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through match 5 of the BBL season, BBL 13 2023-24 season, in which the Sydney Sixers ran out 6 wicket winners with 4 balls to spare against Hobart in a low, slow sort of chase in which it was really hard for any batsman to get any strike rate bonus. We saw a lot more bowlers sort of dominating, in which was, I think, the first game of the year where we really actually saw the bowlers dominate over the bats, and with the other 2 games it was really batter dominant from what I remember. But this game I don't think we saw, other than Jewel, anyone get more than about a 5 strike rate bonus. So it was a huge bowlers game with, I think we might have saw, I think Corey Anderson was the only guy with 25 strike rate bonus, but economy rate bonus, but we saw a lot of 20s, 15s and 10s from a lot of the Sixers boys. So anyway, before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. And there we go. So for anyone that's going to be listening to this on the Spotify, etc., then you'll just see at the moment I just have the scorecard up on cricket.com.au, and I'll be flicking between that and SuperCoach, but I should be able to at least talk through it so you guys get a good picture of what's going on. But anyway, so first up we have here the Hobart innings got off to an absolute flyer. I mean, if you look here, they were 1 for 34 off 2.4 before Matt Wade fell to Jack Edwards, which was surprising to see him get his first BBL wicket in his 31st match. And depending on the rescheduling of the Renegades Perth pitch that called that abandonment, which I'm not even going to do a video on, to be honest, of that recap game, Edwards has had a better week than Fraser McGurk, which is surprising, but Fraser McGurk has most likely got better job security and also has the double coming up in round 3, but also a potential for a triple at the end of this round, or potentially another double going up in round 5 or something like that, as they try and find a place to sort of reposition that Renegade Scorchers game, as it was a really weird way to go and have that abandoned. So anyway, back to this game, we saw Wade get off to a little bit of a flyer, 11 off 7, but then obviously the Jack Edwards wicket to Todd Murphy, and I believe that might have been Wade's only interaction of the whole game. Nope, he took a catch as well. We'll get to that later, obviously. So he ended up on 21 SuperCoach points, which is still well unders. If I'm correct in saying that, I believe his break-even is 43, so he'll drop 5 or so K, and they don't really have anything worthwhile. They have a double in round 7, which is attackable, but other than that, you wouldn't really be looking at any of these Hobart Hurricanes anytime soon. Back to the game, you saw Caleb Jewell actually get off to an absolute flyer. 42 off 24 in the end. The only player here, especially on the the only player past 20 for the Hobart Hurricanes in the whole innings, and the only player with any suitable or notable strike rate bonus, as the next ones were 5 for Silk and 5 for Hughes, and that was it for the game. But he struck it at 175, 42 off 24, and then he did ride a little bit of, but I think luck with just chipping it over guys, etc. And I believe he had one that stopped on him that he was just able to get it over Tommy Curran on about 30 odd. I think that was Tom Curran's first over, or that might have been someone else's first over. But yeah, he got up to 42 off 24 before getting out, and that really just shut the gates when he got out in the 6th over. 2 for 56. They went on to lose, what is that in total? 4 for 13 off 2.3 overs, and that really just stopped the run flow. But yeah, 42 off 24. He ended up with 67, I believe, before. He didn't take anything in the field, so 67 for him is a fairly decent effort. I mean, what's he priced at anyway? I don't know exactly what he's priced at, but he's priced at 136, so he beat his break even. He'll go up by 6 or so K, I would expect, so that's a fairly decent effort from him, but I wouldn't be looking at him anywhere until that round 7, when we've already got those Perth guys in, and that is potentially a trade boost to get all the Hobart Hurricanes guys in that we need. Benny McDermott, Just sort of came in and never really got going, and then got to 11, got caught behind off Jack Edwards to give him his second wicket, and got Philippe the 10 points, only for Philippe to return the favour, we'll see, in the second innings and get Benny McDermott 10 points. So they sort of traded off for each other, which was all right. I mean, he got 21, lost his break even by I think 8, so he'll be down 2k to like 86k, which sort of sucks a little bit, but not the worst outcome, as this pitch was just a horrific one to bat on. And being just a normal batter, with non-keeping, he doesn't really bode well. But hopefully he can find some form when he gets some actual road pitches. Anyway, Sammy Hayne, 3 or 4, caught and bowled Dwarshuis. Dwarshuis just started this rot, you can see in the middle. As well as Timmy David, 1 off 4, caught at sort of backward point by birdie off Dwarshuis for 1, and that left them 5 for 69, and they looked like from about a 180 score, and it just stopped, and they never really got going again, as Corey Anderson and Chris Jordan really were about at one point both 10 off 18. They had about a 25 run stand off about 6 overs at one point. And it ended up being a 32-run stand in 6.4 overs when Chris Jordan got out for his 16 off 21, with the 6 involved off Moses Henriquez, who is trying to fill in a couple of cracks in the Sixers bowling attack, as they've come up with a couple pitches where a guy hasn't bowled terribly well, and he's had to fill in with an over or two, and it seems like he's going at 11.5, so that's not really particularly working. But Chris Jordan here, Berg got his man off the last ball of his spell, which actually ended up being, I think, 26 points of value, that one ball from Jackson Bird. So that was one of the more valuable balls of the day, actually getting the 5 economy rate bonus for him, as he ended up 1 for 32, which we'll get into. And then Corey Anderson tried to go late, but there was some dumb singles in there, leaving him off strike, taking the power surge at the wrong time, and he ended up hitting a full toss and just hit it about 40 metres in the air, and it didn't, and it got about 60 metres out to deep mid-wicket, with Jordan Silk taking yet another catch. I think he's got 2 catches now, Silk. And Corey Anderson ended up 17 off 27, so that was not the best effort, and it got Tom Curran into the game, and Tom Curran did dominate this game, and so we'll get to that in a second. And then Paddy Dooley contributed, I think, was it Bird that he hit? I'm just trying to figure out, who did he hit? It was Dwarshuis he hit, because Dwarshuis had 2 for 8 off 3 overs and ended up on 21, so he lost a lot of his bonuses, as I believe his last over lost him I think he lost 13 points or something like that, 14 points in the last over, as he lost 15 points worth of economy rate bonus or something crazy like that. He lost, I think, 10 economy rate bonus, so I think he lost 7 or 8 points in the last over there, so that he bowled because of Paddy Dooley hit him for a 6 and 2 and a 4 or something like that. Paddy Dooley in the end got out very late on. If you look here in the first ball of the last over, 8 for 128 at that point, as he got out to Tom Curran, caught by James Vince, and it all pointed there towards potentially the likes of potentially Tom Curran taking 4 or 5 to clean up the tail there, and that would have really solidified him. But we'll go through the Sixers bowling lineup now and see how they went. Jackson Bird, 4 overs, 1 for 32. As I said, he got that wicket off the last ball to solidify the 5-run bonus here for economy rate, and 8 dot balls, fairly decent. I mean, he ended up, probably 34, 35, and then he got a catch as well. So he ended up actually on 43 for not the greatest effort for him getting pumped early on. Toddy Murphy, 1 over, 9 for 13, 2 dot balls, and a catch in the outfield, I believe. So he ended up on 12, if I remember. Yep, he ended up on 12. Then you have Jack Edwards, 4 overs, 2 for 18, his first wicket in his 31st match, and then he got another one. 1 wide, and 14 dot balls was huge. So he ended up with, I think, something like 73 or something. 72 for Jack Edwards there, as he got the 20 economy rate bonus, which not many people would have expected that out of him, but yeah, that was huge. Stephen O'Keefe, only 2 overs, none for 16, and 5 dot balls. Didn't get the economy rate bonus for bowling 3+ overs, and yeah, that really sucked for him. Only 5 points there. He was on track, I think. If he had bowled in that middle portion, he could have easily probably gotten, I think, one for 20, one for 30 off of 4, something like that, and that would have ended up him probably somewhere around that 30 or so points, which is sort of his norm. Tommy Curran, 4 overs, 3 for 19, 1 wide, 1 no ball, 12 dot balls, but the 3 wickets got him 70 points. The dot balls got him, if you negate the extras, got him up to, I think, 10 dot balls was it that he had? 11 dot balls in the end. 11 out of the 12, and then he had 2 economy rate minuses, or economy concedes, or whatever you extras conceded. Yeah, that's what it is, EC. So he had the +9 on that front there because he had a leg bye off one of his. And then so he ended up with 11, 70, 81 plus the 20 there. It should be so he ended up 99 with the ball, and then added some runs with the bat, which we'll get to. Ben DeWash's, he ruined his figures a little bit, costing him, 7-8 points in the last over that he bowled, but 4 overs, 2 for 21 with the 5.25, which is a 15 economy rate bonus in the end. And then the 15 dot balls was absolutely huge, as you see here. He ended up with 78 as he got a catch as well to really bolster him. And he's been a sneaky pod, to be honest with you, with scores of, if I go here and just check the previous game, with scores of 79 and 78, he's actually proven to be really, really worthwhile. And that's a 157, I believe. 157 on a 119 break even. He is going to go up 10 or so K, and he actually was probably the pick over the likes of, even at this point, a Jai Richardson if we don't get the rescheduling or something like that. But yeah, just really surprised about it. But he seems to always do well and go under the radar, I guess. And then the Henriquez over there went for 11, obviously, with 3 dot balls. So he got 3 points there. As we look at his efforts, Henriquez, and you'll see that he did take a catch as well to get to 33 overall. But anyway, we move on to the Sixers batting lineup. And Philippe, 16 off 13, got the ball rolling a little bit, but just wanted him to get to the 20 just for that +5. I mean, another boundary. If that ball gets away and it goes for 4, that's worth another 9 points. And he really starts to get, well, it's probably actually worth more, to be honest. 20 off 13 would have got him, I think, a good fortune of runs. Yeah, that would have got him 20 strike rate bonus. So that ball going to the boundary was worth 24 points. And if he gets a 24 there instead of getting out and getting a 26 overall, so he gets up to 50, he's done his job basically in both games, and that would have been his I believe it would have been a 124 for him overall, which would have been huge, but he ends up, I believe, on a clean 100, which is still 8 or so K gain, so that's still fine. Just would have liked a little bit more. Vince hasn't really fired. 6 in 2 games isn't the best. And yeah, just not returning to that form that we saw in past tournaments, so that's a little bit annoying. Daniel Hughes, he actually played pretty well, obviously, getting a 60 off 50 and being man of the match. It was a little bit shaky. He couldn't hit a cover drive to save himself, missed a lot of balls out there, ended up leaving a couple which were inside the wide line. But a 60 off 50 in this type of pitch is always going to basically win the side of the game, and that's what he did. So he sort of made them bat around him, and I mean, he could have easily gone and scored a lot more, but he wasn't hitting it out the middle as no one was. That pitch was just that tad bit on the slow side, which made it almost impossible to play, as it wasn't completely slow, but it was just enough to absolutely offset anyone's sort of natural game. So he ended up 60 off 50 for 60 runs, 10 bonus for the 50, and then 5 strike rate bonus. So that was a 75 from him, and I believe he might have even taken a catch. Nope, he didn't take a catch in the end. It was someone else. So he ended up on a 75 SuperCoach score. Then you have Moses Henriquez, 20 off 24. Never really got going. No boundaries in there. A 3 and a couple of 2s. And yeah, 20 off 24 probably wasn't the greatest, but it made the game go deep. And him and Jordan Silk combined for 43 off 43, which just held the game together. And it just allowed the Sixers to take this deep, and it was only needing a boundary or 2 from the last sort of 4 or 5 overs to get it over the line. So moving on to Jordan Silk quickly, he had 23 off 19, 121 strike rate to get the 5 bonus. So we ended up, I think, on a 38 for this game, as you can see on the SuperCoach website. 23 runs, 5 strike rate bonus, and the 10 catch bonus there. Then we move to the man of the hour, sort of Tom Curran. 5 off 3 ends the game with a boundary to get that extra cheeky points, as there was 1 run to win and he hit the 4. So he ended up somehow hitting his break even and somehow going up. So he hits, he got 23, 24 in the first game, 104 this game. So he ended up, he's probably going to go up 2K in the end. But yeah, just happy for him to hit his break even after such a horrific first game. Where he bowled well, just couldn't get a wicket. And then the one with the bat didn't help. But hopefully he gets some more opportunities with the bat. Hasn't really had that yet. But if he can get some more opportunities with the bat and just have 1 or 2 games where he just chips in with a 20 off 10, that'll really just absolutely bolster his scoring potential. I mean, his scoring potential is there, but his actual scoring output could easily get towards what's it at the moment, 65, 60-ish. So if he could easily go 75 a game, if we're really talking here. So we go to the bowlers for the Hurricanes quickly here, and you see Riley Meredith, 1.3 overs, 1 for 9, 4 dot balls. So he ended up going and grabbing himself 24 before he went off injured. I believe he got 24, was it? Riley Meredith, 23. He must have had a leg bye off of his bowling. But yeah, 23 for him is still all right given the injury, but that injury will massively cause his price to drop, as he had a break even of 46. So he is going to drop, I would suspect, close to 6K off that effort. And he'll probably drop further given that he's got an injury first off, which is going to set him back and rule him out for a little while. But also he is going to have a high break even going into the next games. So he will probably drop potentially towards that 120K quite easily. Nathan Ellis, 4 overs, 1 for 29. That 6 at the end from Hughes off his last ball, I believe cost him... I think it was 10 points in the end, that one delivery at the end. So that really did cost him a little bit, but he ended up with a score of 43. It would have been, if you look at here, he had the 5 economy rate bonus. It would have been a 15 economy rate bonus, and it would have been a 53 if he had just gotten that last ball out well enough. But obviously he didn't, and he had an oddly similar scoring pattern to the likes of Jackson Bird, who ended up 43 as well points. Corey Anderson was a standout here. I mean, he got to 99, was it? 96 in the end, 17 runs, 40 wicket points, and 14 dot balls, as well as 25 economy rate bonus. The only guy to get the economy rate bonus, as he had 14 dot balls out of 21, 2.86 economy rate. So that was just well under the 4 threshold for the top band of the economy rate. And yeah, he was just really unplayable, honestly. He was getting swing at about the 17th over or something whenever he bowled his last over. And yeah, just unplayable. It might have been even the 14th over that he bowled his last over. And yeah, he just really, his sixes couldn't get him away. And it was just sort of perfect for the pitch at those 125 sort of K pace. Chris Jordan just got hammered around the park. 3.2 overs, none for 34, 5 dot balls. He did bowl a wide as well, so that's 4 points off his dot balls, I believe, as well as getting only 16 with the bat. As you can see here, he got a 20 SuperCoach score, which puts him, I believe, below his break even. As you can see, 15 below his break even, so he's going to drop probably 3 or 4K there, down to that 103 sort of K range. Same with Matty Wade, Benny McDermott, Riley Meredith, Hayne, and David. They're all going to drop. Even Paddy Dooley's going to drop here, which we'll get to in a second with his score. And given his 200 price tag, which we'll get to right now, he bowled 3 overs, none for 22. Got the 5 economy rate bonus, as well as 3 dot balls. So that should be, an 8 for him or something. And he might have had a 8 with the ball, 19 with the bat for a 27. So he ended up 38 below his break even, which should see him drop almost 10k towards that 190k range, which he will drop slowly, very very quickly at this rate now, because he's going to have high break even, and he's going to drop towards that sort of I reckon he'll probably bottom out around that 160k range. And then that'll be, I think he'll potentially play well in his double, so pick him up then. Hatzaglu, 4 overs, number 27. He got the, 10 economy rate bonus, as well as 5 dot ball, so he ended up 15, and I don't believe he got any runs. He got 5 runs actually, and then ended up and took a catch as well, so got to 30 in the end. But let's look at his break even, 35. So he'll drop a K or something like that. So he'll be 108K when the round starts again. But yeah, so he was all right. Was really fearful of Dooley and Hatziglu playing bowling to Jack Edwards. So luckily we didn't get to that point. But yeah, in the end the Sixers got over the line, paced it really well. The chase, they did have some nervy points where they got close to 8 runs and over, but they were always there with a boundary or a 6, or sort of just, I think they had an over where they went 2, 3, 1, 4 or something like that, and it just pegged it right back. They were always able to get that 10 run over just to peg it back. And in the end, they got the job done, go to 2-0, top of the table, and really dominated the fantasy output here. If you look here, 5-11 to 3-5-2, they've done that 2 games in a row, haven't they, where they've really, this game they won it by 84, but this game they won it by 160 just because they took those extra 4 wickets and most of them were caught, which ends up being about 120 points in general, as well as just having, I think, an all-round general economy rate bonus compared to the likes of the Hobart Hurricanes. But anyway, that is the video pretty much there, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be, there might be an AFL Fantasy video coming out before the new year just because they dropped some new information, and then also got some career mode videos for you guys, as well as the other SuperCoach game reviews whenever they get played, given that we should be able to get some games in as we had 2 straight washouts. But anyway, or 2 straight games that didn't really need to be recorded. But anyway, that's the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.